Strangest ghosts I caught had to be Harold Sheldon, the great child. His 3-foot-tall mother, Margaret Sheldon, was wildly overprotective of her son, smothering and spoiling him from infancy and never stopping as he grew. Harold could barely care for himself, and as a result remained in diapers his entire life. Mocked at every turn, they sought refuge with the traveling freak show by a man named Jimbo. But even a life in the circus was no escape, as they were continually taunted and tormented by their own twisted kind. One night, some of the freaks kidnapped Margaret as a cruel joke. In a panic-fueled rage, Harold destroyed the entire carnival in search of his mother. When he finally found her, she had died of suffocation. Filled with hatred, Harold grabbed an axe and had his revenge on the freaks, displaying what was left of them in the carnival for every paying customer to see. When Jimbo found out what had happened, he had Harold mutilated beyond what you or I can comprehend. And you thought your family was weird.
To start this tutorial, it's kind of going to be a little bit fluid depending on what your skin tone is, but I'm coming in with Makeup Geek Sand Dollar because it's kind of a transition shade for me. It's a little bit more cool tone than my actual skin, but it works. It's going to be the best shade match for me, so whatever your transition shade is, go in with that first. And I'm coming in with a gel liner, or you can use just any kind of liner. It is going to be black. This is going to be my base for this look, and then I'm putting Corrupt from Makeup Geek over top of that and blending the crap out of it. The basis of this look is just going to be that you look extremely sickly and very, very kind of like tired out, but without the purpleness to it. And as you can see, I am blending that out further with Sand Dollar, then coming back in with the gel liner I've just already put down and putting that on my bottom waterline and a little bit on my top line. Tight line and waterline, and then dragging it down a little bit and repeating those steps on the bottom to make everything more symmetrical. You guys know me and my symmetry. The last step for the eyeshadow is just going to be to put a little bit more black over top just to make it look a little bit darker, just like a little bit, guys, just a little bit. And then putting on some mascara. Moving on from the beauty portion, but not the eyes. I'm also coming in with that same shadow with a little bit of the black in, so Sand Dollar mixed in with Corrupt, just to darken up the innards of my eye. I don't even know what that's called, but the innards of it, to make me look even more sickly and even more tired. And then that's done. So now actually moving on completely, I'm going to be using the Sand Dollar shade and dragging that down my face to make it almost look like teardrops, kind of, because he has this kind of like crying thing going on. I tried to make myself cry for a good 5-10 minutes and it did not work. But I'm also putting on this wig that has a little bow on it from the Melanie Martinez collection from Hot Topic. And then for the vomit. Now this you can go about different ways, but I chose this way. It's with a bunch of liquid latex, some basically any kind of food. I'm smashing it up a crap ton and actually trying to open it because I had the worst problem actually opening this. And then once you've got enough that you kind of just like want to sprinkle it in like Salt Bae. I then put in some green food coloring and then some yellow just to mix in to make it look extra vommy. Or vomity? Vomity? Is that a word? So this is going to give you the chunks that looks like you blew some chunks on it, but also is going to give you the obvious color, and the liquid latex does dry down, so it's going to always look wet because obviously latex has that look of being wet, which is usually why people powder it down because it's wet and a little bit sticky to the touch or tacky to the touch. But mix that all together and then you've got your vomit. Now, the thing about this bib is it's not actually a bib at all. It's actually a collar that I got off of Amazon that I just flipped around and tucked in a little bit, but it's multi-purpose, guys. It's multi-purpose. But I'm straight up just putting the fake vomit all over there because it's going to dry down. If you want to reuse this, go right ahead, but you can't reuse it on this side by any means because this will always stay on it. I just have this chill in my room now and it's always going to have fake vomit on it. But I'm just placing it on. You can see a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of the green, but I'm placing that on first the so-called bib, air quotes around that, and my face also with a spoon to better like disperse it rather than just dumping it on and having it fall everywhere, because once this gets on any fabric, it's going to be on that fabric forever. And I'm also taking a little bit of each piece of the corn chips that I had before and just placing them on so it looks a little bit more like all of it is more dispersed, kind of. Yeah, give the vomit some dimension. But this is it for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoy. Happy Halloween.